You're in for a grand old time in this episode because we stayed at the Helios Grand Hotel and we're going to give you our honest review of it in this episode of the Universal Show. Hello, everybody. I am Ryno, and joining me for today's grand and marvelous discussion, we have Dreams Unlimited travel agent Hannah Anderson.
I too am grand and marvelous.
You very much are. I should have started with
Thank
that.
you.
Yes. So Hannah and myself and other people stayed, but Hannah and myself, we're going to give you the lowdown, the review, the
hot takes.
Yeah, exactly. The experience of everything that we had. We're going to cultivate a vibe and tell you what we thought about our 3-night stay at Helios Grand Hotel. We did stay over the opening of Universal Epic Universe, so I feel like we've got some fun stuff to say. We have some stuff that might surprise you. We didn't really talk about it ahead of time, so I might be very surprised in this episode too.
Right?
I don't know. But before we get started, I want to remind everybody that this and everything that we do is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts at helping you plan the perfect Universal vacation. When you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip. You help support the channel and all of the content that we produce here. You can even just buy a Halloween Horror Nights ticket or a one-day park ticket with them. It doesn't have to be a whole thing. Check them out, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, for a free, no-obligation quote today. It is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. If you want to learn more about how you can get exclusive content, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of spooky exclusive content from Hannah and myself coming up this
for sure.
Halloween season, you can head over to patreon.com to learn more about that. I've said all of that. Let's just dive right in. Helios Grand Hotel is one of the 3 brand new hotels at Universal Orlando Resort as part of the opening of Universal Epic Universe. The hotel officially opened. Technically, its grand opening was the same day as the park. However, it went into previews a couple of weeks before. It has 500 rooms, 35 suites. It is part of the signature category
Collection,
of Universal Hotel.
yeah.
Collection. Collection. I always feel like it's very Bath and Body Works when we say like collections, right?
That's so true.
It's the Universal Signature
three,
Collection.
yeah.
Did you get the hand wash and the candle? You know, I'm trying to create a whole scentscape, you know? They have, like I said, there's 500 hotel rooms. It's not the largest hotel in the world. It does have an exclusive entrance into Universal Epic Universe that does get you early entry into the park and, you know, an escape when you need it, back and forth. Very convenient. We'll talk about that a little bit more as well. It offers half of the hotel offers beautiful views of the inside of Epic Universe. The other half offers beautiful views of the other side of Orlando.
Construction, parking lot, convention center.
A little, yeah. A little bit of everything that Orlando has to offer.
Yes.
In terms of the suites, there are king suites, there's celestial suites, hospitality suites, presidential suites. The family suites here are How to Train Your Dragon, and I kind of wish we were in one of those.
Oh,
honestly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They book up quick because they don't have very many of them, and that's true across the other signature hotels at Universal. Each of the signature hotels has a theme family suite, like maybe Minions or Jurassic World, but there's not very many of them. So if that is something you're interested in, you need to book that like a year out.
Yeah.
So, but they do look, I mean, incredible. And they're near the How to Train Your Dragon section of the park. So you would be able to look out and see that
I love
portal.
that. In terms of dining options, you have, there's a sit-down restaurant, which is the Flora Taverna, which also has like a casual walk-up bar area associated with that as well. There's the Aurora Market, which is like the grab and go. You can find the ice cream and some like
coffee.
Yeah, stuff. Yeah, coffee, the
Made to
freestyle
order.
machines in there.
Yep.
They have the Lotus Lagoon, which is the pool bar restaurant
Not
thing.
to be confused with White Lotus. Yeah. No one's going to die. Maybe, but hopefully not.
Does somebody die every season on that show?
Yeah, that's how it starts. The first episode is there's a death and you don't know. It's like a murder mystery.
Okay, because I've only seen season 1. Okay, that changes how I feel now. Okay, I got to catch up. There's also the
Bar Helios?
Rooftop Bar.
Yeah.
Bar Helios, which offers some small bites and drinks and some breathtaking views. Have you been in there yet?
I have, but not at nighttime. And I feel like nighttime would be pretty
I finally
cool.
went at night.
Yeah, do you love it?
Yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit in a second. There's amenities here. There's a business center, which is essentially just a closet with a printer. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Sometimes you need a printer.
Sometimes you do need a printer. You're on vacation. You need to make that Amazon return and put the label on it.
Oh, that's
true. You need the printer. There's an arcade there. There's club level. There's a fitness center. There's a vacation planning center. There's a merchandise shop in there in case you forgot anything in the park, or maybe you're coming in that first day and you want to grab a couple things.
Small gift shop. Yeah. I will say that. But I guess the beauty is you're right there at Epic. So the hope is you would just pop over and
it's really so what I like the gift shop for is when I always say buy what you want while you're in the park. You can send it to the hotel, which we're going to talk about your experience with that. And then return what you ended up not wanting at that gift shop. Because you can return whatever you bought at any Universal gift shop, and that's what I find it convenient to be. Whoops, my microphone is not even attached to anything today. There's no wires around it, and I still managed to hit it with my hand.
Moth to the flame.
So I guess let's just dive in and just talk about like our experience. Like we said, we stayed 3 nights. Why don't we just talk about the general feeling of the hotel? Then we can talk about maybe the rooms and then get more into like the dining. Because we did, for anybody who hasn't seen it, we did, as soon as it was open, go over to Flora Taverna. And I have been back.
Yep.
And I've been to Bar Helios, and I've done you and I did Lotus Lagoon. And I went back to that again too.
Yeah.
So lots to talk about in terms of that. But just the general feel of the hotel. Now that you've been inside of it, or you know what? Maybe tell me how you feel, like, going up to it, being in it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know how you felt before and then after. Because I'm curious about that. Did it change?
Am I supposed to be I am a new person after my stay at Helios.
It's changed me on a core spiritual level.
Yes. Obviously, you can tell. I feel like going into staying at Helios, I maybe set my expectations a little too high. Because I think... I had been to Epic before staying at Helios, and Epic like totally blew any expectation I had completely out of the water. And it's this towering hotel. You know, it's like the backdrop almost for like
for a lot of it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for a lot of the park. And so it just kind of like has this like, I've got to stay there.
Yeah.
And even the entrance up is kind of like, ooh, I've arrived.
Well, it's got that like very Batman Gothic feel to it, with the giant statue of Apollo right outside, who is the Greek god of the sun, with his arrow, where he's like ready to shoot out the sun. And there's this whole story of him passing day off to Luna, who is the goddess of the moon, so she represents the night. And you also see her big statue that's over at the front of Epic Universe.
I will say, so then walking into the lobby, it's a little small. Like, it is very grand. Like, it has these like floor to ceiling windows that overlook Epic Universe. But it's not like, it feels I don't know. It's a little small, and it also feels like a come and go, like a not really like a, you maybe want to hang out in the lobby. Like it's, I think because it is small and there's people checking in and out and people coming in and out of the park, it doesn't necessarily feel like a hangout space for me. But it, you know, like all the Lowe's resorts, it smells wonderful. Everything is like brand new and beautiful, and like I said, floor to ceiling windows and marble and gold, and I feel like their kind of color scheme they went with, and this continues onto the rooms, is kind of like gold, blues, and kind of like a mauve, like a dusty pink, kind of, which almost is like a little mid-century, you know.
It gives me, I don't know why, and I could be like completely mistaken. It's giving me like Greek Isles with a little bit of watercolor.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
like Mamma Mia.
Yeah,
meets,
and that would make more
and
sense.
Here we go
the
again.
Greek god, here I go again.
I walk in and I go, money, 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 must be funny.
Yeah, that's true. And it is, I mean, so that is the thing about Helios, is it is in the signature collection, as you point out, but it doesn't include express passes at this time.
Yeah.
The room rates are less than, say, you know, the Hard Rock, which includes those express passes. So like the range is like, I'd say $350 and up.
That's interesting.
For a room at Helios. So it's a premium price point. I
mean,
don't
you know, that benefit, really the benefit, there's a twofold to this benefit of the park. Because everyone being like, one big benefit is if Epic Universe is your main thing on that vacation.
Right.
100%. However, as of recording this podcast, you can buy single day tickets to Epic. So you could buy 3 single day tickets. You can't buy multi-day tickets.
And I will tell you, I priced this out recently for a client, and it's like the first time I'd ever done it. It kind of blew my mind. Going to Epic is the same price as going to Islands or Studios. So if you take a really popular ticket, and for a while it was the only way you could go to Epic, was like
the 3-day ticket.
Yeah, it was a 2-day park ticket to Islands and or Universal Studios plus 1 day at Epic. If you divide that by 3, it's the same price. You could just buy 3 single tickets to Epic. So honestly, for me, I'll tell you, Epic kind of ruins every other theme park experience.
Yeah, I'd say if you're looking to have the full Universal Orlando Resort vacation, but Epic is the reason why you're doing it, I would say start with those 2.
Yes.
Because it
on
really,
a high.
it does sort of not call into question, because they are working on it. So I don't want to be like Universal. The thing I love about Universal, especially in the last couple of years, the last decade, is that there constantly is something new happening
and big new, not little new.
And I also love that with that they also very often lean into nostalgia in ways where they listen to the fan base, but it's crazy to have gone to Epic Universe then to walk through Universal Studios Florida and be like, But it is that sort of thing where now we have Epic Universe, which is this big, beautiful, brand new theme park, and you go to these other ones, you're like, so
and it's not even Universal. Epic raises the bar, I would say, for every theme park.
100%.
Every theme
100%.
park, not just Universal parks.
I think you need to go Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, and then Epic Universe.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah,
and then, But that's not what we're talking about, but clearly we're very excited about it.
So I
Helios,
mean, point being, I'm just going to go ahead and say it because I feel like I've been like dancing around it, is that for me, the current way the tickets are, if I was coming down for a Universal vacation and let's say I was doing 1, maybe 2 days at Epic, I would not stay the entire time at Helios. I would maybe stay 2 or 3 nights for that for the Epic part of the vacation, and then I would switch to Cabana Bay, Sapphire Falls, Royal Pacific, something closer to the other 2 legacy parks.
I'm going to be honest. I think my opinion is that unless you have a theme park view, which unfortunately nobody at the Diz that I'm aware of, at least, or you and I at least,
Fetty and Jimmy had a partial unintended view. Yeah, we did not.
No, none of us did. And I was like, this completely defeats the entire purpose of booking this hotel. So,
a little bit,
and that's how I felt about it. And I was kind of like somebody who lives on a budget. I do feel like I was like, I don't know that I felt like I was offered, not that I didn't enjoy the stay. I'm just saying, I feel like for somebody like me who's very frugal, sometimes I know you look around and you're like, you with all of these items
with certain things,
but like, yeah. I
you like a good value, I would say.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
And so for me, I actually think I would choose for like the $100-something to $200 a night to stay at the hotel across the street that I can walk from, which is not Terra Luna. Stella Nova. No. Terra Luna you can't walk from,
no,
technically.
You cannot,
and
really.
Stella Nova you can. The first one that opened, it's literally a 10-minute walk, not even.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would stay. I feel like I'd be like, it has a hotel bar, it has dining options. There's still a pool if you're looking for those things. But for me at this brand new theme park, I'm going to be in the theme park all day. I don't need to, unless I have that theme park room view, I'm not staying. I don't think I'm spending the extra money.
I know, but here's the tough thing about theme park view rooms. There are 500 rooms. So there's only 250 of those that are theme park view, if that. And then you're paying an additional premium of at least $100 more a night.
And I'm not saying it's not worth it, though, because that's the thing.
I've heard it is.
I've watched videos of people.
But you got to have the money to do it. It's like $500, $600 a night.
And that's the thing is it's hard because there is the nighttime show. It depends. I would say the thing you're going to want to do is check the hours. I think it adds more value in our like, I don't know, November to like March
When
when
it's
it's like the
dark
days
earlier.
are shorter. Yeah. And that way the park's lit up longer, so you get more out of it. Not to say it's not beautiful during the day, but they do these really cool lagoon water shows
Yeah.
throughout the day. And then there is like a finale show, and that's really cool to see from the hotel. But what's really great if you're going to dine there at like Flora Taverna, or you're just checking out the hotel, you can go out to where the Helios, I'm assuming it's Helios, the statue is out. It might not be Helios, and we're completely wrong, so I apologize.
We
but that statue,
affectionately call him Helio.
yeah. And you can, like, when I went back to Flora Taverna, I went at night with my friend who had never seen this hotel, never seen this park, anything like that. And they were, two of them actually, and they were like out there and they were like, wow. Like, it was like really cool to watch it through their eyes and see this like thing where they got to see it because we got there when it was light out and then it was still lit up. And it's lit up all night. So it's not like they're not doing something. So
yeah, that's true. I feel like also another sweet spot is, again, if Epic is your focus for your trip, and if you have young kids and you're like,
I don't want to do the hike back and forth.
In summertime too, I will say Epic is a hot park. I mean, there's not a whole lot of shade, so if you're looking to take a nap, or on different schedules than your family, or maybe you're traveling with like older generations who are like, I did Minecart Madness and now my back ain't right. I need to go back to the hotel room. I mean, you don't get any close. I mean, it's like staying at Grand Californian at Disneyland is what I would compare it to.
Yeah.
Like you're right there. And that's pretty dang cool, but
I will say that it is that element of just being like,
because I did.
You feel
we both
very
did. We
elite.
popped over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and that entrance too it's easier. It's quieter. And you're kind of like more back in the park.
Yeah. There is a rush right when the park closes. So if you're like going up the elevator, it's one of those where it's like you got to make sure you take your time at the end of the night. But it wasn't like terrible because again, it's not a huge hotel. It's not all that stuff. But I'm just curious, like, what did you think of the room for you?
The room for me,
because you stayed with your husband and child.
And child, so we were a little more crowded. I thought the room was very nice. It was comfortable. I like that Universal. It seems to be their hotels, even the more modern, more sleek designs, still have an element of warmth. Like they really lean into like the upholstered headboards and the carpet and the pillows, accents like that help to warm the space. It was a small room. Yeah. Very small. So yeah, that was the only thing. Like I would compare it to, like, it reminded me of the layout and the size of the rooms at Sapphire Falls. I did really like, this is the first time because I've never stayed at Aventura, the iPad with all the controls. Yeah. Dude, I love that. That was like something that like I never truly appreciated, but as somebody who likes to fall asleep to the TV, I was like, oh, turn the TV off. Or in the middle of the night, I'd be like, I'm getting a little warm. And I'd be like, do, bump it down. Or the curtains. The curtains
so on cool. The iPad is...
You can open and close the...
And there's like a button on the wall. It's a whole thing. And that's really cool. I really like that. I find that this hotel, more so than the Aventura, I didn't stay at Aventura, but I did get to go and check it out because I had to do something that time that Craig and I were going to stay. And so he just stayed. But like, I remember thinking... During that time, I was like, oh, I don't love this iPad control. But this time I was like, this is great. I was great.
I literally so I had the bed to myself and I literally like cozied up to the iPad and was like, mama needs to change the channel, turn the volume down. It was nice. The bathroom was also a little tight. I do like that you have the separate sink vanity from the shower, but the toilet and the shower in one area. It was a small room. I mean, especially like we had our stroller in there. What did you think?
I thought I liked it. I could see how quickly it can become very small. I remember thinking, oh, the like luggage storage wasn't as efficient as it was at like, let's say Terra Luna or Stella Nova. And that's okay. Cause I also was like, I am of two minds where I do believe, ultimately I want to make sure that families are comfortable. As somebody who traveled, 4 kids, one mother and my grandmother, sometimes it can be very difficult and overwhelming to balance all of these things. And so I do think about that. But then at the same time, now I'm an adult and I am an AWOC, an adult without kids. And
so you're like not bringing your stroller.
yeah, I'm not. So like those things aren't, I'm not thinking about that stuff as much. But I still like to, I am that person. I unpack. And that's the big thing.
I'm living there, okay?
Yeah. I want to see my stuff.
Yeah, I need to know.
And also I need the stress of how many souvenirs can fit back in this and where they go and stuff. So that's part of it. And so I will say like there was a little bit of, I felt like that was a little conservative in terms of being like, drawers and
not many drawers.
Yeah. Only a couple drawers and stuff. But I agree with everything you said about the room feeling like warm, comforting, and like getting in there and with the curtains and everything. That was very cool. The shower was nice. I like that. It's a walk-in.
Good water pressure.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah, nice.
And like a nice size. Like it was the square or the like rectangle that the shower takes up, I thought was good.
But yeah, so I feel like, and even Disney is doing this now where like it's going to the shower trend, no bathtub, which makes sense for a million reasons, except for if you have like a 1 to 2 year old and then you're like, oh my gosh. So my recommendation is if you're in that situation, you're either like wiping them down with a washcloth, or you bring like one of those like blow up baby bathtubs.
Oh,
so,
yes.
anyways,
Yeah.
It's a whole thing, but it's not just universal. And it makes the space bigger. It makes it lighter. It's, we like showers.
Yeah, so I would say like amenity-wise in terms of the room, I enjoyed that. There was the little fridges in there and
Keurig.
Yeah, Keurig. Okay, that's good to know.
I like that because some of the Universal hotels, they do the weird...
What's it called? Yeah, it's...
they do like the weird pod, Cuisinart.
Yeah, the Cuisinart one, yeah.
But you really can't... Like, I like to bring my own coffee. I'm kind of, I got my brands and my roasts that I like. And I'm a coffee drinker.
Posey. I don't think at this point in my life I'm meant to live. What does she say? It's like
I can't remember.
I think at this point in life I'm not meant to live an inconvenient or an uncomfortable life.
Yes, I think so.
Something like, I just can't do it.
Which is just so relatable for me and the white Lotus.
You basically
pool.
are Parker Posey, so it's fine.
But I also am that person. There are two things I do when I get to a hotel. One, I unpack because I live there now. Two, I do a grocery order, and so for me, it's cheap. I drink so much coffee. It's cheaper for me to order in my coffee and my creamer and all the things. And a lot of the other Universal hotels do these like weird, it's like a sachet of coffee. And it's like, you can't buy that in a store. So then you're either stuck. Anyways, so it's a Keurig.
It's good to know. I mean, that's good information to know because I feel like
I Google these things before I travel. So,
Did you do an order while you were at Helios?
No, I didn't. A lot of times, local life, I just bring it with me. So I brought it with me.
If anybody wants to know, there is a Publix like right there.
Yeah, that's great. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and it's like less than 5 minutes to get to it. If you need to drive, if you brought a car, if not, you could still do an Instacart from there.
Instacart,
and it's like super
Walmart, Target, everybody does delivery now.
Yeah.
And Bell Services will pick it up for you.
Yeah.
And deliver it to your room. Love that.
So Flora Taverna, we did do a dining review on this channel of that experience. I want to talk about the food now, some of that stuff, because I feel like it is good.
Yeah.
I went back, Flora Taverna, it was for Eli's birthday.
Yeah.
And two of my friends were there, and all three, I was the only person in this group of 4 people that had been there.
So
and we went at night. Yeah, and it was, no, the dinner menu is different than the lunch menu. So I made sure I tried something different. I had this like chicken dish. It was very good. And I was worried because everyone was a little bit, I almost said a bad word, a little bit attitude-y when we started.
A little tooty.
And then it was like, oh, everyone's going to kind of complain and maybe this was the wrong place to
pricey.
book. Everybody liked it.
Okay.
Everybody loved it. Not just liked it, loved it.
The atmosphere in there to me, when you said Greek Isles, I think Flora Taverna. That restaurant totally.
It's got like almost like
olive
white
trees,
marble. Yeah, like
open
the
kitchen,
colorful flowers across the ceiling, the tree that's coming out of it.
I was imagining I'm like at Lindsay Lohan's Mykonos beach resort. Not quite, but
The great thing about this too is if you want to go over and dine there, you basically just have to spend $50, which you're definitely going to spend, and they'll validate for I think it's like a total of like 4 hours or whatever. I'm sure if you were in the restaurant longer than that, it's a different story. But you know what I mean. You could talk to them about it, but it helps because it's $125 a day to park in that parking garage, which is crazy.
Yeah, right. Not if you're staying there. If you're staying there, it's like the standard. I forget, $30 to $40 a day, something like that.
I think it's 50.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's more.
Okay.
I thought it was more than the other ones. It might not be. I thought it was like 35 in the other ones.
Okay.
And this one was maybe 50, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, somewhere in that
And
range.
also, don't quote us because literally all these parking things change all the time.
Well,
that's the thing.
also true.
So,
but no, I thought so. The only time I've been is I did the one lunch review, part of the video, and then some of the lunch menu items cross over to the Lotus Lagoon pool. They have some of the same menu items.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you did, because we had that chicken schnitzel sandwich. It was.
Oh, it was way better at the pool. Yeah, way better at the pool. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about the Lotus Lagoon food because we didn't do like a video review of that.
Yeah.
But you and I sat there and like the kids' chicken tenders because your kid got those. My
Dude.
God, those were good.
Okay, I'm like, that is maybe the best pro tip for them, like the entire trip, because it's way cheaper, obviously, than adult entree. And honestly, I think that would be my must order next time. And the portion size was big, and it came with the same delicious fries that like the adult entrees come with, and you can ask for a side of aioli with them, which you know I'm gonna do. I thought that was great, and they will deliver to your chair if you're staying poolside. Or
I really enjoyed that.
I mean, that is like, come on, there's nothing more vacation than sitting poolside and like having your cabana boy come over and for your drink order, your lunch order. But they also, at the bar, they have bar seating, and then they also have tabletop seating. So you can go and have like a full lunch there. And what I love about this pool is that you're in the shadows of Darkmoor. So you literally can see Frankenstein's castle. And my son was just like enamored by that. He was like, look, it's Frankenstein's castle. And I was like, yeah, it felt like we were at the White Lotus, but also Darkmoor.
Yeah, and I ended up going back again and ate there again. So I got like the Goddess Burger the second time.
Oh.
This is a double black Angus beef patty with herb mayo, cheddar, caramelized onion, tomato, bib lettuce, and bacon.
You can't get wrong. That
It's $25, but it was great. It was like I wrote in my notes it was like a smash burger. Like the pickle was like littered with dill, which was really, I thought, added like a nice little like spice to the dish.
Burger.
Oh, and then I got they have a fish sandwich for $24. It was the spice fish of the day, tzatziki, bib lettuce, heritage tomato, and artisanal bun. That was mahi mahi. It was okay. That one was okay. It was a pretty big piece. I felt like it could have been seasoned a little bit more. So I feel like of everything I've eaten there, that was like not my favorite thing. But I know that the French fries I wrote literally in my notes. I was like, out of this world. Like if I ever stay at this hotel again, or let's say I dip into the area on a park day, I would get these fries. Like I'd go out of my way for these French fries.
Honestly, should we go over right now and get some chicken tendy?
I even wrote, I wish they had double fries. They were literally the perfect French fry.
Hungry. Yeah, more fries.
I liked the drinks that were over here too.
I did too.
Yeah.
I felt like they were I don't know. Maybe they weren't a better value, but they weren't. Because
they are like, they're all basically like $19.
Yes, and they're more of like whereas like Flora Taverna, it's a lot of like martinis and like cosmopolitan type, like smaller portions. I'm sure higher shelf liquor, but like these are more like poolside drinks, but they were refreshing. They weren't like blue curacao and Mai Tais, and they were more creative.
They were creative because there was I got this tequila kiwi smash, which was like tequila kiwi lemon sour, and then kiwi syrup, and I was like, oh, I like this so much, I want to get it again. And then I know we tried other ones like the Spice of Life, which is a watermelon drink, basically like spicy margarita with watermelon and like a little bit of orange bitters in there. That was really good. I feel like I had other ones, but like a couple, but it didn't feel like I was like $19 and I'm just having the syrup. It was like, oh, this is nice.
It was
like this is an actual cool creative drink. Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't like, I mean, I know you can order them, but it wasn't like our signature drink is a Mai Tai or a pina colada or something that like, yes, is very vacation-y, but also is like very sugary or sometimes pre-mixed. It felt like these were like, you know, carefully made cocktails. These weren't pre-mixed things. And I mean, I hate to say it, for $19 in a theme park now, kind of is what it is, you know? So definitely a treat yourself type thing. You know, I do my grocery order, so I did, you know, bring some drinks with me to the pool as well. And they told me that was fine. So I think it's like I think when the weather is nice, actually the Lotus Lagoon is a good lunch location, even if you're not going to the pool. I thought the food was great. I thought the cocktails were great. The atmosphere is good. So when the weather's nice, I feel like I would definitely go there.
100%.
And you know, the thing is kind of a con for Helios is that they don't have like a traditional quick service food courts like the Grab and Go, the Aurora it is just coffee, gelato, bagged chips, pre-made sandwiches. It's not a quick service, so you don't necessarily have that option there. But yeah, I think now if you're going to Epic that day, you need to eat in the park because that park food is so good.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. If you're worried about being like, well, I'm not really a pool person, there's the part you can sit around the bar, and then there was tables like you and I sat at the tables around the bar.
Yeah.
And like you said before, what's great about the pool is that you feel so fancy because they'll literally just come up to you, and it's not extra cost. It's just the same as like a server comes up to you while you're sitting and lounging.
Right. Yeah.
And
you're going to give them gratuity, obviously, anyways, as well as you should. And two more pros about the pool. It does have like a zero entry section. Great for kids because they can like, you don't have to worry about them as much, and it's easier for them to get out there. And for me, I'm like, it's a great way to get sun and stay cool. Also, all the loungers there are like padded, nice loungers. It is very luxurious. Another thing I like that Universal does is that they have complimentary swim diapers and sunscreen if you need it. So if you forget those things, they have them there for you. I even noticed the towels were like, the pool towels were like a little bigger and more lush than like the standard like hotel towels. So no, it definitely felt like more of like a Four Seasons type experience. So
I also did have the opportunity to go up to Bar Helios. I went at night because we did it on that same night where I was at Flora Taverna for that second time. I got to see the view out at night, and that was like awesome. It's weird, even if there isn't a reservation, I would
ask you that,
still because I didn't have the reservation, and I went up.
Hard to get,
and they were like, "Well, you can sit at the bar if you can go find the seats." Like, and basically they were like, "Yeah, there's a table for whatever." It's a little weird because there is like an outdoor patio area that like there was a bunch of kids out there with no adults on one side, like we first walk in the hallway, and I was kind of like, okay, so we could have sat out here. I mean, I wouldn't, because when we went, it was the middle of July, and I was like,
yeah, right.
It's awful here at night too. But I will tell you this: the cocktails are incredibly unique that are up here, which I very much appreciate. They are also incredibly expensive, incredibly expensive. All themed to like Greek gods and stuff like that. But I think the cheapest thing you're going to find is like $18, but the average price is definitely over 20. Like the Apollo Old Fashioned is $25. I ended up trying, because the bar, this is sometimes what I hate. I hate when you ask somebody like, oh, what's a drink that you recommend, or what's your favorite drink? And I'm also like, I am a seasoned drinker.
Right.
You know, like I don't need the tourist. Yeah. And people I hate when they automatically are like the most expensive thing on the menu.
Right. Or they're like, if you like something sweet, I'm like,
I don't like sweet. And if you like sweet, I'm like, you probably don't normally drink that much, which is okay. I'm not judging the sweet drinkers.
Right. But I'm like, if you want something sweet, it's pretty obvious what you need to order typically.
I got this milk punch drink. It was $27. It was not worth $27. But here's the thing about like a milk punch. It takes like 3 days to make. So you're basically paying rent for the drink sitting on the shelf. And it was fine. It wasn't like it was a bad drink, but I was also like, I don't. And when I was up there, I was also like, I don't need
I have to
come
be
back
honest,
because like food wise, it's just like charcuterie boards and spreads and
and it was very, I remember
and
that being very expensive
it's a lot of market price, and you're like,
yeah, like I think oysters was on the menu, and I was like, I don't even want to know.
Yep.
So I went during the daytime, and I did sit at the bar because I didn't have a reservation, and at the bar you like can't really see out that well. Like the bar is very pretty, but I mean I don't think there's like that. I feel like there's not enough seats that like allow you to fully take in the view. Also, another thing is like I noticed a lot of photos I had seen of Bar Helios, like the actual bar itself is like this kind of like constellation, and it's very pretty, but like sitting at the bar, like you kind of have to like look up to see it. And that sounds like really like I'm giving it a hard time, but like actually being there in person, it didn't feel as cool as the photos looked. If that made sense. Like I was like,
I felt that.
And the prices were so premium, and it wasn't even just these specialty cocktails. Like I remember like a Miller Lite was like $15, and I'm like, okay, and it was out of a can. It was like out of a can, poured it in a glass, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, so I have the menu up. A draft beer, 20-ounce draft beer, like a Modelo, is $14.50.
Yeah.
Michelob Ultra, $13.50. Voodoo Ranger, $14.50.
Maybe it was a Michelob is what I was thinking.
Yeah, which is still definitely on the high. That's draft. Out of the can, their domestic's 10 and import is mostly 11.
I think I'm thinking of the Michelob. I guess it was on draft, and it was just like.
But still, that's for a Michelob Ultra.
I know. I mean, it's like basically water.
12-pack is like $10.
Yeah, I just I don't know. It was, and that's the thing is like, you know, yes, I'm a little bit Parker Posey, and I love theme parks, but I'm like, I also love a value. Like I want to feel like if I'm going to spend the money, and that's the thing, you are going to spend the money on a vacation. I want to feel like I'm getting the best value or the best experience or the hidden gem or the tip that people don't know. I
don't want to
about.
be nickel and dimed either.
Yeah, and I feel like Bar Helios, don't maybe go up there to see it. And if you're really vibing and want to stay up there.
I think if you're celebrating something or you're looking to have like a cocktail on the vacation.
Yeah,
like
your nightcap.
Yeah, I think it's a one and done
for sure
situation. Sort of. Okay, so then while we wrap this up, because we talked about the food and the amenities, I just want to talk about like your overall, before we go, any other, because I know I mentioned at the beginning, technically you're supposed to be able to, if you're staying at a Universal hotel right there, you're supposed to be able to send your merchandise back to the hotel. I want to know, do you have anything else to add about the experiences at the hotel?
Yeah, that was bad. So a little plug for Patreon. You got to see the full experience. I got so Danny Elfman did the soundtrack for Dark Universe, Darkmoor. It is a very cool vinyl that you can still purchase. I saw it's still available to this day. I got that the opening day of Epic Universe, and I had it sent back to the hotel. I'm staying at a hotel. What a great perk. Also, you don't want to walk around a hot theme park with a vinyl record.
You shouldn't, because you'll warp it.
Yes. So I sent it back. Great. Then they switched the room I was assigned to, and for whatever reason, they sent the vinyl to the room that they originally assigned me to. And obviously whoever was staying there was like, thank you very much. And they had already checked out. But the frustrating thing is they were like, yes, we're trying to get in touch with the person who's currently staying in that room to see if they have it. And I'm like, no. I mean, for a million reasons, no. First of all, I don't want it.
I don't know that they didn't damage it somehow or leave it in the sun or put a drink on it.
And also, that's weird. I mean, that's your bad. That person should have taken it. That's your mistake. And then they were like, well, worst case scenario, we'll send someone over there to get it. And I was like, okay, but I had already checked out. My bags are packed. It's me and a toddler sitting in the lobby. And I'm like, but I paid for it and I want it. You know, I'm like, can you mail it to my house? And they're like, maybe. So anyway, so they ended up sending a guy over. He brought it back to me.
But you were still had to wait a long time for that.
Yeah, they ended up, they couldn't credit me for the vinyl, so I think they took off something from my bill. So they did end up doing the right thing. However, I gotta tell you, for staying in a signature hotel, and I told the dude, I was like, you can tell I'm a little sassy about this. I'm like, I got a 3-year-old here, and I'm sitting in a lobby, and I'm checked out. I don't have a swimsuit. I don't have anything. The kid's staring at Super Nintendo and he's ticked. And I'm like, I'm like, I'm local. I just want to go home. Can you just mail it to me? And it wasn't the best. We eventually got there. But I don't know, all that to say, I'm like, that's the first time I've ever done that at Universal where they send the merchandise back to you. I think in theory, it's a great thing, but I think if it's something that's of importance to you or whatever, especially staying at Helios.
You bought it I don't remember if you said this. You bought it the first day.
I did, yeah.
So, like I said, we stayed 3 nights.
Checkout, so
it was like, hey, where's my stuff?
Right, this is, I mean, almost like,
lucky for you, it wasn't sold out.
Oh, I know.
I don't know what would have happened if it sold out.
Right. I wouldn't have gotten it. So it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, I mean, honestly, for me, I mean, they did basically end up getting the vinyl for free. That was cool. But I mean, I got to tell you, you get older and you have a toddler, whatever. And sometimes convenience is like, you'll put a big price tag on that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would have just been like, forget it, but it was a 2-hour ordeal. I feel like there were a couple things like that happened on the stay where I was like, the service wasn't, it was kind of a like, well, I don't know. It depends on who you talk to. So, to me, if you're staying at Helios, I would rather just walk it back.
Yeah, I felt like you and I had a day and night experience too, because we ended up being able to change the 3-day ticket we had into being able to get rid of it, because then we were technically able to buy another ticket.
To go to
Epic.
Right.
And basically I was like, I don't care about the other two. I only went to Epic. I didn't go to the other two parks. Can I just get rid of that part of the ticket and turn that into another Epic ticket? And they had done it for you, but when I got up, it was a different person. They were like, no.
Right.
And you can't do it here. You have to go to the front of the theme park. And I was like, how am I going to get there from here?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of that where I was like, it's crazy because I do feel like a lot of the service was very friendly, very kind, and then there was no in between.
Really bad.
Yeah, the bad was like, the person was like straight up mean to me about the ticket, and I almost got to a point where I was like, I am telling you, I have the messages right here, the date, the time. I am standing at the same booth. And that also happened in the park one of those days too. But I was like, and they were like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, okay, well, I want to talk to the manager, and I don't want to be this person who has to do this and then explain to you. And then the manager came over and they were like, yeah, what do you mean? What's the problem? And they were like, of course we can do that for you. Right. And I was like, I don't know. This person was like, no, and blah, blah. And they're like, they must just be mistaken. And they were very nice, but it was just one of those. And it makes me feel very like Karen. And I don't like that.
I know. That's how this situation felt.
You are. Like you
well,
have to
I mean,
be.
I hate it. And I think that kind of unfortunately breeds that behavior, especially in a theme park where I think like, you've committed this time, this money, and so you feel probably a little bit more entitled to be like, no, like I'm out here doing my best, like, please just. So anyways,
I'll chalk it up to like opening and that sort of stuff. And that's why I was like, I'm very sensitive to that. Like, it's
right.
Okay.
But all that being said, I think I will say again, the perk of staying at Helios is you are so close. If you're buying something, I'm like, don't take that chance. Just
bring it to the room.
Just walk it back,
So overall, would you recommend to stay here? I know you're saying I don't think it's your favorite. I don't think it's your top choice recommendation. But would you?
I would.
I know you said it before. You do it just for the Epic part. You do it like a split stay.
Yeah, I would. So if I was going in 2025, where your only option is these single day Epic tickets, I would do a split stay. If I was doing like a longer Universal vacation, if I was coming in 2026 and beyond, where your ticket includes Epic, I would absolutely stay there. But I think Helios for me is, if you're not going to Epic, you are getting on a bus and crossing I-4. And I don't know, the resort to me was nice, but it wasn't special enough. And it doesn't include Express Pass.
Yeah, that is a sticking point for me, where I'm like, you have the entrance into the park, but you don't have Express. And I don't know that that'll be forever. I don't know that it'll change.
Right. It may not, but yeah, for me, 2025, it really beyond. I mean, I'm only stay there if you're going to Epic, pretty much every day of your trip.
I think for me, the hard part is I'm the theme park type of person where something like Epic Universe, I'm in there day until night, unless it rains and then I want to get out of there. that's a different story, which is basically the time of year we're recording this. It is that.
Yeah.
So for me, that's definitely worth it for that part of it. But if it's like the regular part of the year, like you're coming around like the holidays or into the new year, I think that you have to ask yourself the question, how long am I going to be in the hotel room? What are my expectations of the hotel? And am I there for that experience, like the actual hotel experience, or am I there somewhere to just like rest my head? Am I celebrating something? Is this like, oh, well, why not? We're going to splurge and do it like this. Because otherwise, for me, I do feel like if it was me and I didn't live here, I think I personally would recommend doing Stella Nova, just because you're right across the street and the pricing on that is like $100 and something a night.
Right.
And there's still the lobby bar, which checks that nightcap thing for me.
Right.
There is the pool if you wanted to check out day and do something, and I can walk to the park still. And the buses don't go any faster.
Yeah, it's the
to
same.
the resort. So
No,
that's where I'm like, but
Right.
I'm not saying I didn't. I very much did enjoy our time at Helios Grand Hotel. So I'm not giving it a negative or anything like that. I just feel like, for me personally, where I'm at in life, it's kind of that thing. Like if I was rich, I'd probably be like, I'm going to stay in that one. Yeah.
I will tell you. So my example for if I would stay at Helios again is if it was me and my son, and I was also taking my parents and we were trying to have like, a great experience at Epic and trying to do it in a way that's like easy and relaxing and feels like a vacation. I would say Helios. And
Yeah.
I think regardless, Helios is a 2 to 3 night experience.
Yeah. And I think especially I would say the flip side of that, again, like if you are someone who is there and you want to enjoy the pool, I think the pool is worth the time to take and enjoy it and not be like an afterthought or a second thing or whatever. So There's some of that where I'm like, balance. You got to find that balance. But that's all I have to say about Helios Grand Hotel.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to that weekend was a really special weekend. It really was. I mean, I feel like, I'd like to do that again.
I would like to do it again. That's where I was like, I'd like to do it again.
After all that, I'm like, I'd like to do it right
when
now.
When someone I didn't know died too. Like, I'd like to be in a better mind
other
space.
Than that detail, So stay alive and stay at Helios.
Yeah, stay alive, stay at Helios, the motto. But if you have any questions about the Universal, the Helios Grand Hotel or any other Universal resort properties, of course, let us know. Again, the agents over at Dreams Unlimited Travel can get you booked on your vacation. They can help you price it out if you're just curious and interested to see how like the stay like Hannah would shake out price-wise. You can put in a request. It's no obligation. You don't have to pay anything to get that request.
You're not paying any extra to use travel agent.
You literally, I always call it the Target Red Card of vacationing because you're like, the best case scenario, you're going to save money. Worst case scenario, it costs you the exact same.
Right.
But you also have like a concierge person with you. So just something to consider and think about. And it does help support the channel. So we do appreciate anybody that is booking for that. But thank you, everybody, for joining us for this episode of the Universal Show. Like I said, if you have any questions about Helios Grand, any of the theme parks, anything like that, please let us know. And of course, let us know any future topics that you want to know about Universal, because we are here to cater our content towards you and helping you plan that perfect Universal vacation. Thank you, Hannah, for being a part of this conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to do it. Until next time, remember, be excellent to each other.